Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Katie and today we're gonna unbox and create with the new look UpCrate. Obviously this is the April box, but I'm liking what they've done with the exterior packaging there. It's very good, all for change. This month's co-captain is Leon Ferrin, and I quite like this abstract poster we have this month. I'm kind of liking the fact we've had a poster. Don't get me wrong though, I do love the prints more, but I like the poster. It's going up on my wall, takes up a nice amount of space and adds a bit of colour there. As you can see on screen, we have a paint marker variety type of box, and these are the Edding pens. And of course, I completely forgot to mention, we have the UpCrate Battle Post magazine. Oh, and if we just take a little moment and scroll through it pretty quickly, you will come towards the part where they show people's work. And guess what? I actually made it into the Battle Post, so yay! I must admit though, I am on the centrefold and yeah, you can't see it properly, but I'm not going to grumble. I've technically been published, so I'm super happy with that. This month's theme is Come Together, and to be honest, I kind of don't stick with it and do my own thing with this one, and I'll explain as we go along. So we have a Viking pencil in H, and it pretty much does what a pencil does, but I do quite like the Viking pencil, so I'm not going to grumble there. We have two Edding paint markers. One of them is Traffic White and the other is Neon Pink, and they're in 1 to 2 millimeters. I'm not going to lie, I loved the colour, but that pen did not want to behave at all and it never properly worked, so I'm calling it a dead pen, and it happens sometimes, it's just one of them things. We have as well in the next size up, which is 2 to 3 millimeters, a opulent turquoise and a pastel green, and I'm pleased to say they activated fine along with the white pen as well. No problems there, so it was just a one-off. We've also got a big chunky chisel tip pen in black, and that does what it does. But then we have this curious little fellow here, which is, well, it's still a paint pen. It's an acrylic 3D double liner. So you can actually add a bit of physical texture there. You've got a big chunky flat nib at one end, which sort of pipes it out as a ribbon, I'm going to say. And then you've got a smaller nozzle at the other end for your finer details there. The surface we have to work on is the Edding acrylic and oil artist pad. That's 300 GSM, and it has a light canvas texture to it, I guess, which I suppose since we've got paint pens, that kind of works. I did actually find that they were really nice to use these pens on. There wasn't any shredding of the paper, which you can get sometimes with acrylic markers. And I also noticed with these pens, the ink's fine in them, but I did find, especially with the smaller ones, the nibs were a bit hard and scratchy, a little bit like the De La Roni ones that I've used before. So, you know, if you're going to go out and try these anyway, just take that with you. Don't expect them to be sort of as smooth as a Posca, but they still do the same job. So my first picture is a tribute to the dead pink pen. I was a bit salty about it, but it's one of them things. I'm not really going to contact UpCrate and get them to send me another one. It's really not the end of the world, and I'm sure I can find some use out of it. I just covered the background in that black pen, and then I thought I'd see what I could get out of that pink pen, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but that's what I went with. And to be honest, I mean, I do usually try and keep with the themes of these boxes, but I just couldn't really think of anything to do. I toyed with the idea of perhaps drawing the Beatles, but I couldn't do it unless all of those pens worked, so I did scrap that idea. As the Battle Post talks about wanting peace and obviously things going on in the world right now, it's perhaps just having a bit more of a harmonious approach, I thought I would do a dove. I thought the opulent turquoise would make a fabulous background, and leaving the paper white where the dove was, because there just wasn't much point in using a whole acrylic pen just to go over something that's the same colour, right? The black pen was really good with that chisel tip because you can achieve thin lines and really thick lines as demonstrated by the details I'm adding on the bird, as well as the border I've added there. And don't get me wrong, the last line I did across the top of that border went a bit janky, but how smooth are the other lines there? Quite impressed. Also keeping in theme with, I guess, the artist that's part of this box, I thought I'd just go on there and add patterns and shapes to the background. And yes, the pen is working right now, but it is pretty much dead. I can't get anything consistent out of it, so I'm not really going to use it for many other things. So I just thought I would just take this box as a nice way to just kick back, relax and just have a little bit of fun with the supplies and not take it too seriously, because you know what, that's allowed too. I mean, I've done lots of paint marker videos before in the past, and I have actually got 1 or 2 of them planned coming up soon. I am still putting together my art block busting video, and just something that helps me. And to be honest, what I'm doing now is not too dissimilar from that anyway. So I am really looking forward to putting that video together, and hopefully it'll help you guys if you get a bit of artist block too, because we've all been there. It happens to us all. We are not machines. The pens also mention on them their opacity levels, and the white one is kind of somewhere in between, so it's a semi-opaque one. And you can tell it's not quite as robust, I'd probably say, as the Poscas, but that kind of just creates a nice, I guess I could always add extra layers, but with one layer it's just nice to see that colour peeping through, and it was pretty consistent, so it wasn't a horrible streaky mess. The green one again was in the midline for opacity, but to be honest, I think that showed up pretty well, so can't grumble there. And again, it's just adding more patterns and just getting different textures. I don't know. I know this isn't perhaps one of my more serious or intense pictures, but I actually kind of feel better for just taking a bit more of a relaxed approach to it. I kind of like this big chunky double-ended edding acrylic pen. It's weird, but I think I can have some fun with that. I do hope you've enjoyed this video though, and I hope you've enjoyed me sharing these supplies with you and what I've done with them. I must admit I do quite like the picture of the dove. It was fun, and that's why I liked it, and I hope you like it too. Now, there should be a couple of videos on screen that I think you're really going to enjoy, so please, by all means, click on one of them. If you're new here as well, don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!